I am just so excited. So, look, we didn't plan it this way. I was literally going to go solo, but then RK3 reached out and was like, hey, I can chime in. And I said, well, okay, let's do
Yeah.
this. And so here we are. And
Yep.
why? Look, why we can do this. Just for those of you who don't know, I want to share this. When we do these live streams, over time you start to meet people and to get to know folks who become like family. You know their expertise, you know their professionalism. RK3 has been that with me for years. Like we've known each other for I don't know how long.
It's got to be like 10.
It's a long time.
It's a
So
long,
I don't
probably
just
more than that.
I think it's more than 10.
Yeah.
I think
Because
it's more than 10.
I started like podcasting like when they had Google Hangouts and I was doing video podcasts. This is like 2010. It was like 2010, 2011. And yeah, I think it was right around then doing that space, that time that you were Tanya Smith online.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
it's my issue. There's an echo and they're hearing it and it's my issue. So I'm going to fix that
Okay.
real quick.
I'm not, okay. I'm not hearing it, but okay.
Yep, they're hearing you echo, but it's my fault. I figured that out last time. So does RK3 still have an echo right now, y'all? Say something for me.
Hey. So hold on one second. So I started singing just now. This is kind of a sidebar. I heard your show theme music, and I've been messing around with Suno and Udio and a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you know this about me. I used to sing and write music back in the day. So
What?
so I've been throwing a bunch of my old music into Suno and just kind of seeing what it comes up with. And oh my gosh, like mind blown. I mean, it's one thing to kind of just write a prompt and say, hey, make me a jazz song about blah, blah, blah. But when you put your own music into
Yeah.
it and it does like redoes the instrumentation and the vocals and the backgrounds and all of that for you, it
Mm-hmm.
is phenomenal. I feel like a superstar right now,
You are
like
a superstar.
ridiculously talented.
You are ridiculously talented.
Oh my
Duh.
gosh.
I already knew
Well, I
that.
mean, AI is like it bumps you up another notch.
It does. And I wrote
Yeah.
the theme song by sharing with Suno, because that's where I
Yeah.
wrote mine. I wrote the theme song by coming up with an interesting, creative description of what I want my show to be about, how it's
Yeah.
empowering and uplifting. And so then the words just came.
Yeah.
And I tweaked it a little bit, but I loved the sound. I thought it fit me. I thought the words were perfect. And so, yeah, I use it all the time now. I bought the
Yep.
license because you do need to make sure you purchase the license. For those of you who are using Suno, you want to get the
Yep.
upgrade so that you can use that song in other content and that you're creating, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. I like totally sidebarred your show. I apologize.
You did, but it's okay. Because we were tested to make sure the echo was gone. So thank you,
Yeah.
y'all, for letting me know. It was me. It's my issue. It's something that I have tweaked in Ecamm that I need to figure out. But if it's gone, that's what we want. Yes.
Love
Yay.
it.
Okay, so we're talking about live stream formats that actually build your business. That's the focus for tonight. And I think I sent you 3, but I actually had 4.
Mhm.
And I know you have your own ad-libbing to do here. So we're just going to talk this through. Folks that are in the comments, let me definitely acknowledge that we will answer your questions, acknowledge your comments. If there's anything you want to share, pop it in there. We're watching for you. By the way, we're also over on Substack. So if you're on Substack and you're watching, pop in the chat. I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and pull that up too. I almost forgot, so that I could say hello. Okay, check this out. So Mike, let me put it on this screen. Hold on, I'm going to do it here. Mike says, I have around 200 songs on Suno. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
I'm up to about 70, but I haven't published them for like public consumption.
Not yet.
Well, I don't know if I will yet. I need to still
Okay.
figure out copyright stuff because this is my own copywritten music from like 2000, 2005.
Oh, wow.
So, I need to figure out what the rights are because they're copywritten through Library of Congress already. So I'm just, what do they own? What do they not own? So those types of things.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's super smart. Right now, everybody's having questions about owned media because
Hmm.
we're looking at the introduction of so many new types of tech, including Atlas AI, which I won't get us completely off topic, but I'm just going to say there's so many things happening that
Yeah.
it's nuts, right? I'm looking and I see a couple of notes about Substack having some issues. So hopefully, I'm going to check real quick on my Substack and see what's going on over there. But yeah, if
I
you're
don't
on
know.
YouTube,
I'm re I've got it paired on my Substack and mine seems to be fine.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
good. Okay, well, and I think I see mine too. No, I see us on both. Okay, so we
Yep.
should be okay. I see some folks over there on Substack. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna make sure I mute that. Yep, so we don't have double echo. That
Yep.
way I can see your chat in Substack. Okay, look. Question. What's your favorite? I'm gonna skip around a little bit, but what's your favorite live stream format, RK3? Because let me set the tone. What
Hmm.
we're talking about is using these formats to actually support our business.
Yeah.
So there may be people that are doing streaming for hobbies. I get that. That's not really my angle. So I usually talk to service providers, and I think you talk to businesses as well.
Yeah.
So I want us to focus in on like what are the best formats for business owners and what's your favorite?
So they're two they're both different. So my favorite is guest. I just love having conversations. I love leading conversations, facilitating conversations, especially when it's more than just one or two people. If you have like a panel discussion online, count me in. Let's go. I love it. Um, Solo educational content that I prepare and I'm teaching for 20 minutes, 30 minutes as well is the one that I use more for business purposes if I have a specific goal in mind.
Okay.
If I'm doing an interview, the conversation can kind of ebb and flow and go anywhere, right? Even if I have pre-scribed questions or,
Mm-hmm.
a channel or an angle that I want to attack or get to. But it can go anywhere. If I'm doing solo and I want to teach this thing, boom, it's straight. I, you know, I don't have to pay attention to the comments in this portion of it, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
make a segue and say, okay, y'all, I'm gonna pop some comments up on screen, and I'll do that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit more focused when I do that way.
I probably would echo the same two that would be the top. I love solo. That's my favorite. But I'll
Yeah,
tell you why. There's a little bit of a twist. I like solo because it's easier for me to jump on, go, and not have to worry about bringing somebody else into my game plan.
yeah,
But I also love guest interviews for the same reason because then you get that flow of the conversation back and forth.
yeah.
You get more than just your own thoughts. It's like thought partnership, and each of us feeds off of each other, which is one of the reasons why I love jamming with you.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want everyone to be a guest.
Right.
So we have talked about in the past the idea that everyone's not meant for everybody. I know there's often a lot of people, and you might get the same thing, that reach out and say, "Hey, I'd love to be on your show." But if I don't necessarily have an experience with you off channel, like if we haven't done a coffee chat at least,
Yeah.
I can't necessarily put you in front of my audience without really knowing that we vibe.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Because
Facts.
the the flow of the show, the energy of the show is part of that's what keeps people around until the end, or they'll check out the beginning like, oh, this is good. Let me go get a snack and come back. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if the vibe is off and people can tell you like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? That's not Tanya's energy. What something's off right now. They're
Yes.
like, oh, okay. I don't know if I'm coming. Let me go do this other thing right
Okay,
now. So
give me a horror show. What's a horror story about a guest? You don't have to name the guest, but
oh
do you have a guest interview horror story?
so the only one that I would say was a horror story. So I mean, there are quite a few that for different reasons. There are guests who, no matter how I've prepped them, they will show up in their car, and I'm like, bro, we cannot have a good conversation. You're literally trying to drive right
Right.
now, or they're somewhere and it's super noisy and they're trying to do an interview without headphones, and I'm hearing your lawnmower. I'm hearing the
Hmm.
landscaper outside right now. No, I'm hearing ambulances going by. No, you're not prepared for this. But the hardest one that I've ever had to deal with was and I was doing my podcast. This was probably about 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, doing podcasting. And I had a guy come on, do the show live with me. It wasn't even recorded where I could stop and say, let's start over.
Hmm.
All of this dude's answers were like one word. And so I'd ask a question and he would say something like, yeah, 3 years.
Crickets.
Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, you asked me to come on the show.
Right.
So I'm thinking you're going to come to drop some nuggets and some knowledge. But yeah, that was one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this person or this person type again.
Yeah. I think that, and I'm seeing a couple of comments in here that I definitely want to pull up in a second.
Yeah.
I think the important thing, if anyone is listening and you're thinking about doing one of the two formats we talked about, let's break down guest interviews first and let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that. If we were to give you some tips, look, the power of leveraging a guest is that you get to engage with other people, have conversations, pull their expertise in with yours, and also share audiences as well. So, like,
Yeah.
you've paired your audience, and both of us are tapping into each other's audiences right now. But again, the structure is such that you and I trust each other. We know each other
Yeah.
well. I had no problem saying, sure, I want you to come onto the show because I know the type of content you deliver. I know what you
Yeah.
bring to the table. I'm comfortable and confident with that. So, what I would suggest or recommend, if I had to give a tip in that direction, it would be if you don't know the person, because I know a lot of people are using tools like Podmatch, for instance, right? Which
Mhm.
I love. But I encourage you to do some type of a vetting process ahead of time.
Yeah.
Podmatch gives you the ability to be able to kind of match up according to the vibe and whatever description you're going to put into the here's my criteria thing. So
Yeah.
I do two things with something like that. If I don't know the person and they're coming through a platform such as Podmatch, first of all, my description about my show is crystal clear. And I also have a link to the playlist showing former guests and how we interact and how we vibe so that they can get a feel for what the show is about and what it's like.
Yeah.
Additionally, I require that they do a coffee chat with me because I want to see, I want to discern, is this truly a vibe? On paper, it looked like it was, but let's see. And I reserve the right in my little agreement that they sign. I reserve the right to decline if I choose not to move forward. And they do too.
Yeah.
Do you have other tips about guest interview setup?
It the topic itself also needs to have some alignment. So there are two types of guest interviews here. There are the ones where the guest is reaching out to you in order to get to leverage your network so that they can get some visibility for themselves as well. And then there's the other type where you're saying, "Hey, I'm doing a show on this topic. Let me get some people who are experts on this topic to come on the show and share some of their knowledge. Now, e- even though you know me, right, and we've known each other for quite some time, there's probably some stuff that you wouldn't just say, you know what, let me just have RK3 on the show and we'll just talk about random stuff, or I'm just talking about this other platform, and you'll say, hey, I'm doing a show about this, and I'm already sitting in the chair, and you're like, do you stream on this platform? And I'm like, no, I don't have any idea about that platform.
I
Right?
do
So
not know.
right, right. So if you don't know that I have input or valuable knowledge or information about something, then even though you know me, you probably wouldn't just say, hey, come on the show and we're just gonna, we're gonna talk about this,
Yeah.
unless it was one of those shows where it was, hey, we're just gonna shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
Right. That's a different type of thing. But if you're like, I want to cover this thing,
Mm-hmm.
so the tip inside of that is, yeah, make sure that whatever your topic is, you are intentionally aligning that with the expertise of the person that is the guest.
I like it. I like that a lot. That's really great. I'm going to pop in some, we got some guests that are saying some things here in the chat as well. Let me see. Mike says, I like to guest, but I want to understand the show flow. Yes, absolutely, Mike. So having an understanding by a couple of things like sharing that playlist, but also sharing the structure ahead of time,
Yeah.
giving people the ability to be able to shine and to look great on camera, providing a checklist. I mean, I like to do those things. I probably go a little overboard, as RK3 can tell you, but I think that that's fair. Let me see what
Yeah.
else we got. Conversations thrive off of each other. So yeah, I think what you're saying is you like solo too, because I know you, Michelle, but you also like the guest interview format. And Gabe used to enjoy the guest interview more than anything because he always felt like he ended up learning something. I do too. I learn from you all the time, RK3.
Oh, I appreciate
All the
that. I don't
time.
know when I'm teaching stuff. I'm just, twiddling and figuring stuff out and tinkering and all sorts of stuff.
Look, we do that. Let me see. One of the worst was when I actually had Tanya on with me. You know what, Gabe? I didn't run the show. We both got booted out of our own show. But the positive thing about me and Gabe is we rolled with it and we actually reconnected. Like the show went dead and then we reconnected somehow on the same line and came back. So that was hilarious. Saeed, the facilitator, says, like bringing a blind date to your parents' house if you
Yeah.
don't know. I love it. Okay. I'm seeing lots and lots and lots. I am liking seeing all of these. Oh, wait. The guest needs to vet the host. Exactly.
Hmm.
Anna Gill in the house. What's up? What's up, girl? Seeing all these
Yeah.
Facebook lives. Okay, love stuff. Cast ahead. I'm trying to pull everybody that I can possibly pull in here. Mia said that's one of the advisors from Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, Mia Harm. Oh yeah, that's one of my. So I do some facilitation for small business owners in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and Mia is one of my former scholars.
Well, Mia, I did not
Yeah.
know. That is wonderful. I just met Mia at the AI Marketing World Conference, so that was absolutely
Really?
wonderful. I did very first
Oh
time.
snap. Okay.
Yes, we met in
Okay.
person. Lorna, what's up? Lorna is going to have an event next week, and I will be one of the speakers at that event. I'm super excited. It's the Accelerate Her Summit. So if you're on my mailing list or watching my socials, you will absolutely see some of the information about that coming up real soon. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about this whole concept of the structure. So we talked a lot about guest interviews.
Mhm.
And there's definitely power in guest interviews. My question for you around solo, you mentioned why and how you do solo. What are
Yeah.
some of the tips that you would share with people about doing a solo live stream for their business?
Well, several things. Number one is you don't want to take too long to get into the meat. So for a lot of us, we know that as the hook. What is that thing that you have? What is that line, that descriptor, that statement that you have at the top of the show that's gonna make people say, "Ooh, I want to watch this," or "I want to stay around. I want to hear a little bit more," because that's me. I'm struggling with that thing right
Hmm.
now. So make sure that you've got some sort of a hook. Also, be relatable. And for me, being relatable really leans into storytelling, right?
Yeah.
What is the story? Sometimes we share a hook or we share, hey, I'm going to talk about this. And we immediately jump into stats, data, content, information. And that's good. But people don't always understand, number one, that it might happen to them. They don't understand how it happened to you. They don't see the real world context of the
Yeah.
information that you're sharing. So making sure that you've got some sort of a example or story that explains why this is true, why this is important, what is the benefit of this happening in your space, or how you navigated the challenge that came up based on this experience that you're
Hmm.
having. As a matter of fact, on my Monday morning show, I do a show every Monday morning called Mind Shift Monday.
Okay.
And as I do the outline for my show, I have a template that I've trained Chat GPT on. And I'm like, hey, I want to talk about this. And it spits out the template for me. And then I kind of tweak some different things. The only thing that it doesn't do for me is it can't tell my stories,
Yes.
right? But I've got a block in there that says story time. And so I'm like, okay, what story do I want to put here? Okay, what does that story mean? What is a sound bite that I can use to make this memorable? And all of that stuff is structured out in my show.
Hmm. Yeah. Super smart. And I'm the queen of solo live streams right now. And
Yep.
I'm going to tell you why, for those of you who might be wondering, why should I do a solo? Because a lot of you, if you're coming from the world of traditional podcast, and by traditional, I mean like you are interviewing people constantly, like that's the show, that's what you do.
Yeah.
What I found is, as I was talking with my business manager last year, the first 2/3 of the year, I was interviewing people, and I had so many people on the show that what she said is something that really hit me. She said, we need to position you as a thought leader, and you're starting to lose some of your credibility as a thought leader because you're giving it away to everyone else on the stage. You're sharing your stage a little
Mm,
too much. And when I heard that, I thought, she's right. Because I remember back in the day when I used to do a lot more of my own solo shows,
yeah.
solo podcasts, that type of thing. And it lent credibility. In fact, when I first started doing live streams, I was doing them solo. And so I started building up my own bio. My street cred was growing because people were like, wait, she knows what she's talking about. But sometimes when you shift and you hand off the thought leadership to other people all the time,
Hmm.
if the spotlight is on them all the time, yeah, you get a little bit of the cred, but they sometimes forget, the audience, I mean, sometimes forget what you're known for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there's a balancing act to that. And I just caution anybody who's thinking about, if you really want to position yourself and your brand as an expert in a particular field, at least mix it up and have some variety.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to add to that and add to that advice a bit as well. It also really depends on where you are in your career
Yeah.
or your speaking space. So, for example, when I first started and I was doing some business coaching, right? No longer do business coaching, but I was trying to build up my credibility at that
Yes.
point. Um, just doing solo episodes when nobody really knew me wasn't necessarily the fastest way for me to
Yeah.
grow my audience, right? So at early stages, it served me better to curate conversations
Hmm.
as opposed to just sharing tidbits or knowledge, because
Yeah.
it gave me access to the other person's audience. And
Yes.
if not their audience, their network. Maybe it was somebody that didn't have a specific audience. Maybe they weren't podcasting, but they were somebody of note, somebody of repute, maybe a prospect or somebody who worked for a specific company that I wanted to do business with.
Mm-hmm.
So now I bring them on and I have some conversations with them and I ask them who are some of the other people in the industry. So my purpose for the show, my purpose for creating that content drove how I showed up
Yeah.
on screen or in the medium.
That's good
So
stuff.
understanding your purpose as well is important.
And where you are, that season
Yep.
thing is really important, what you just said.
Yep.
Because as I do think back, because it's been a long time now, it's been 20 years that I've been coaching. When I first started, actually,
Yeah.
before the video, because I was definitely a no camera person,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I started with audio. I was doing Blog Talk Radio. You remember that one? It's
Oh,
old school.
yes.
So Blog Talk Radio, and my very first big credibility builder was a telesummit
Mhm.
where I invited experts from around the world. It was a women of color career summit. It was designed to help women of color to be promoted in their careers. And I wanted to pull in career coaches, resume writers. I pulled in people from all over the world, these global experts, to give advice freely
Yeah.
and to share how to help women to be promoted in their careers. And so that is actually what put me on the map,
Yep.
because nobody knew who I was at first until after that. So that's
Yep.
an excellent point. Borrowing from somebody else's audience when you're just starting out.
Love it.
Let's put some comments in here, because I see some folks that are commenting. Let's see what we got. Sarah Mary Parker, what's up? It's so helpful when I'm a guest, knowing what the host is looking for. Yes,
Yep.
because it's a two-way street, right? It's two-way. It's not just you talking at the person. Cast ahead. Chris Stone in the house. Let me see. I love my solo days. People get to know me and what my stance is. Yeah, I know, right? So, but I love that there's a time and a season for every type of presentation that you do. I love that.
Yeah.
And having the balance, Linnell said, is key. Mia says, I started my podcast with exclusive solo shows, and it was super hard because I'm better at conversation, but my interview seasons definitely took my thought leader positioning off. So just like what I experienced too, Mia. Recently stopped my podcast, even though it was extremely well received, didn't know where to go from there. Well, I will just say that it really helped Mia when I rethought my position the last third of last year and said, you're right, business manager. I'm going to take that to heart. And then I sat down and revisited my content pillars, my content framework. And that's actually how the 90-day live stream planner, the AI blueprint, was born, and how I started talking to people about that is because I was looking for ways to make sure that I was creating live stream topics based off of the offers to different workshops and things that I was promoting. So then I used each of those live streams, Mia, to do a solo teaching moment. Like tonight's live stream, the topic is based on live stream formats because I know that's part of my content pillars.
Yeah.
And luckily, RK3 was available to join in.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to just maybe even add to what Mia says and maybe answer a little bit,
Yes.
because she was talking about not being sure of what to do next and stopping the podcast. So first of all, yes, it's okay to pause.
Yes.
It's okay to pause and give yourself grace in those moments, because sometimes we can feel guilty. We can just pile up these heaps of guilt on our shoulders, like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be seen every week. I'm not being consistent. Listen, you're a human being, and sometimes your gut just tells you, listen, dude, you're a bit overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
And just banging your head against that wall or doing something that, while you might like it in the good seasons, in this moment, it's not bringing you joy, and it's certainly not bringing you any less stress.
Yeah.
So it's okay to breathe
Mm-hmm.
for just a moment. In those moments when you're breathing, you also got to remember that you have done a ton of work before that. And I want you to celebrate that. And you can also maybe take a moment to repurpose some of that work. So if you've got
Yes.
these 30-minute podcasts that you've done for the last year, okay,
Mm-hmm.
start chopping some of them up and saying, you know what? That was good. You know what? That little segment was good. Oh, that was
Mm-hmm.
great. And
Turn
now
it
you
into an
just start
ebook.
posting those things,
Turn
right?
it into
And
an ebook, turn it into social media posts, turn it into vertical clips. There's any number of ways. Yes, that's actually what I've
yeah,
been doing with mine. My
yep,
show from last year, all of that's being repurposed right now.
yep,
Yeah. And the grace
yep.
thing, so with you on that. This is one of the things. So many of you may know or recall that I went from saying, hey, I'm live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern to saying, I'm live most Thursdays.
Yeah.
And the reason was I knew that I was getting into a state of burnout. And I
Hmm.
wanted to give myself that grace that you're talking about, RK3. And I said, yeah, I don't have to do this every week. I can take a
Yeah.
week off.
Yeah.
I can
You
do
know
that.
the thing that I started to do as well, and this is why I love Restream, right?
Yeah.
There are some weeks, depending on what's happening in my space, where I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna do a replay show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the
Yeah.
video and I'm gonna put it on. And I use that in two ways. There's some weeks where I'm either not in a physical setup space where I can do it in the way that I want or with the quality that I want. And so I'll do a replay show and I'll run a ticker at the bottom saying, hey y'all, this is a replay show, but I'm in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be commenting or responding to people right there. So, and it lowers the temperature and the stress level
Yeah.
on me to show up in a certain way as well. So that's one way. And then there's sometimes where, listen, I'll just be like, it's a replay show and I'll let it replay and I'll go on about my business
Mm-hmm.
and let it do what it does. And I'll be back next week.
Another reason for Restream
Yeah.
is, and I've done this 2 weeks in a row. So last week and the week before that, I really just didn't have the energy to get on camera. I just
Hmm.
didn't. I'm just going to be honest. But I knew that the topic that I wanted to talk about was relevant and trending at the moment, and I wanted to get it out there. So on Restream, I did 2 audio only shows,
Hmm.
and I had a guest each time. And the guest felt comfortable because they didn't want to get on camera.
Yeah.
So we just did an audio live stream. It still was live stream. We still were live, but we had avatars
Yeah.
instead of the camera. So what we're sharing with you all is that there is no one right way to do this, but the important message I hope you're getting is that you can make a choice about what works for you, and none of those choices will be wrong.
Right. Right. Nobody's
And
grading you.
uh-uh, we are not grading you. I was thinking that exact same thing. How do I repurpose? Okay, so we might want to talk about some repurposing ways, but before we do
Yeah.
that, let me catch a couple more questions, and then we still have 2 more to go.
Yep.
but don't let me forget, Mia. Yeah, if there's not alignment, you don't have to. You're not stuck. And your agreement, just like if you have a podcast agreement, Dr. Vibe, should read that you have the right to decline to air a show, even if you've recorded it. And that other person should have a right to decline as well. I want people to have flexibility. Raymond, the topics for live streams get even easier as you continue to work with clients. Their insights are the roadmap we use for our live stream topics. Yeah. So it could be, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. There's another format that we'll talk about that dives right into that.
Yeah.
Do solo episodes to dive into the gold? Yes, Mia. Absolutely. You could do that. Heck yeah. RK3 in the building. Doc
Doc
Rock.
Rock, my dude. What's going on, man?
I love it. Wait. Because it's Doc. I got to put that
That's
on there.
great.
Day 356 of 365, producing a long form video every day. The reason I don't have stress and burnout is because I remove those words from my vocabulary and I know my purpose.
Those last 4 words.
Hey,
I know my purpose. Yep.
hey, hey, no wrong way to do this thing. It's really a choice. How do you want to play? How do you want to find joy and showcase what you know? What do you want to do? It's up to you.
That's it.
Okay, so I don't want to forget Mia's question about repurposing, but I also know we have 2 other. We can talk a little bit about repurposing first, and then I'm going to share with you all in advance the other 2. One, I don't think I gave you RK3, but live tool demos.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about a live Q&A clinic. So,
Yeah.
okay, so getting into what Raymond Ed D put in there about, consultations and that type of thing. That's something that I have started exploring is that live Q&A clinic. So those are the 2 additional formats I want us to talk a little bit about. But before we do that, share some thoughts for Mia about how she could potentially repurpose. I know I've got a ton of thoughts, but I want to hear what you got to say there.
Wow. Well, there are a lot of these. I mean, we could do an entire 2
We're
episodes
going to have to do another one.
on this. So probably the simplest one, especially if you've got video podcasts
Yes.
already, the simplest one is just chopping up that video podcast into reels or shorts and playing some of your best segments
Yeah.
with those. That's one. Another way to do that is, and here's this, I love this one. Take that episode and upload it into notebooklm.google.com and let it produce an explainer video for you. And it'll produce a workbook and some other summary documents that you can then use as lead magnets if you choose, or you could just give them away, whatever it is that you want and however you want to position it. But I bring up Notebook LM because I'm loving that explainer video.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is pretty stinking awesome. And then I have a tip for you, Mia. If you haven't been using something like Cast Magic is my favorite. Yep. So I'll just go ahead and put it out there because I love them. I was one of the very first users, as they will tell you. And I did not love it at first. But once I figured out, because he came back and he said, hey, we took some of your thoughts and we put them into action and we have some other things and we want to know your opinion now. I was like, oh my God, these are awesome. The changes you made are amazing. So a couple of things that I'll tell you I'm doing now with them. With my repurposed videos from the last 2 seasons, I have an entire set of about 30 different prompts built into Cast Magic. So it's creating a prompt for me to use in Sora 2 to create another video, like a short 10-second video clip. It's giving me keywords to optimize my blog. It's giving me Substack notes. It's giving me LinkedIn post, newsletter, lead magnet ideas, topic ideas for other videos that can be born from that one topic. Like anything that you want to create, you can train it based on specific repurposing prompts and I've done a class on this this past year. I've had a lot of classes and workshops on it. So if you want some more tips, reach out, holler, and we can definitely share. Either me or Robert, since you know both of us, can share some additional tips.
Love
it. Yeah. And Doc Rock says Notebook LM is gold. Yeah, of course. Somebody's asking, Michelle is asking about explainer video. Can you talk just a little bit about what that means?
Oh, so the explainer video is, how do I explain this? How do I explain explainer? So it is like a shortened version. It's like the Cliff Notes of something with animated graphics, and it's like those little tune videos. I don't even know how to explain it great, but I've done it with So I wrote a book like a long time ago, and I never published it. And there were like 10 chapters, and I uploaded the stuff into Notebook LM. So not only did it create an interview or a podcast, but it did an explainer video, and it really dove into the core topic, the benefits, some of the different ideas that people needed to pay attention to, and why this book was worth reading or why it would change your life. And it just did a quick 2-minute video, an explainer video on it. So explainer video, it explains what it's about. I don't
Yes.
know.
And so,
Yes.
Michelle, if you go in and you add sources of information, whether it's other videos or documents, et cetera, in Notebook LM, like he said, just go over to the right-hand side and you're going to see that as an option. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's on even the free version of Notebook LM, but I know I have
It
Google
is.
Workspace. Okay. So,
It
yeah,
is.
it explains how to do something like Janaid says in the chat. That's exactly
Yep.
what it does. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to make it sound really smart, but I
You
just I
were.
couldn't find the words.
Well, I mean, it sounded good.
Okay.
You had good words.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about live tool demos.
Mhm.
So, again, the focus, just for those of you who are coming in a little later, we're talking about live stream formats that are actually good for business. So, if you have a business and you're leveraging live streaming for that purpose, we've talked about guest interviews, we've talked about solo, live tool demos. I personally excel in this space because
Yeah.
years ago, before I ever wanted to put my face on camera, I had a show on YouTube called Click of the Week. And Click of the
Oh,
Week,
I think I
yeah,
remember
this
that.
way back,
Yeah.
way back, Arcade 3. And I did
Yeah.
not put my face on. I was
We were just
just,
talking about tools. Yeah.
that's all I did. All I did was talked about different tools, and it was just because I was curious all the time. I'm an early adopter with a lot of different digital apps and tools and platforms because I love to learn. Like I take
Yeah.
complex things and I break them down so that I can teach them, right? And so I had this show and I would literally just screen share as I'm going through the app or going through the website or going through, using the tool. And I just explain what I was doing, an explainer
Yeah.
video. Hey, explain what I was doing while I was doing it and give my thoughts and impressions and opinions. So now with live tool demos, you can pretty much do the same thing today. You can have your face on, or you can just do screen share, like, the faceless videos. But there's so many different options now for you to be able to do that. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that type of video?
I love it. And so I'm about to give away a secret here.
Uh-oh.
I love it, but you know who else loves it? The companies that produce the products that you're explaining
Bingo.
or that you're demoing.
Mhm.
Especially if you've got a little bit of an audience. It's like free advertising for
Yes.
them.
Yes,
And
it is.
so, yeah, I don't do enough of them, partly because I go through so many different apps and tools that if I were to do a demo or live tool explainer of all of them, I'd be sitting in front of my desk all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just tinkering so often. So yeah, I love doing those. So kind of a sidebar, but kind of related. If you are in the eCam community, Jill Roberts. Did you see Jill's video?
I
Jill
didn't.
did a live stream of like boxes of equipment or tech that she'd had in her basement or whatever for years, and she was just going through and talking about stuff and determining what to toss out and what to what to keep. So she had like old, you remember those old long 8-pin or 12-pin iPad
Oh my
plugs?
God, no.
So she
Oh
had those and a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing my basement right now. I should go down and get all of the cables and cords and the old iPod classics and all sorts of stuff and just come and do like a live tool video and say, hey, I got this. This is when I used it. Nostalgia. Should I keep it or should I throw it out?
That would
Or
be
should I send
fun.
it to Goodwill or whatever? So yeah, thanks for that inspiration, Jill. I don't know what the date is, but I'm going to do that sometime.
Let me see. Make a stream deck button that screenshots the live stream, includes the timer, and use those images so you're not hunting for gems. Smart,
Yep.
smart, smart, smart. You can also, with vibe coding, pull the key clips for a JSON transcript. Now he's getting too techie for
I'm
some
like,
folks up
Doc
in
went
here.
Jason.
You know, Doc.
Yeah.
Doc be getting all like smart.
That's what Jill called it, the doom box.
Doom boxes. That's exactly right. Janae, please tell your son that we said hi back. Hi.
Hey, sir.
That's too funny. Doom boxes. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that, but I'm going to use that now because I have some myself.
Yep. Yep.
So either it's gear, meaning like devices that are tangible devices, or it could be apps, but any type of live demos are really pretty fun, I think. I love to do them. And you're right, the companies absolutely love them too. It's honestly how I've done several brand deals and collaborations and used affiliate links also. That's how I partnered up with Riverside FM last year as an ambassador because they saw that I had done some videos. Heartbeat Chat.
Yep.
A number of different places where I've shared their tool because I trust and like them and use them myself and have given honest feedback, right? Go Brunch, a number of different videos on my site have done well because they're demos of these different apps and tools. One thing you can do for it as a tip, you saw Doc's high complexity advice there. I'm going to give you a really simple one. Use a QR code. Another reason why I like Restream too, RK3, because you can quickly pop in a link and it makes a QR code for you on the spot that you can pop up.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah.
Look, Asia with Grace's style. Okay, so Valerie's getting on you, Doc. She said, speak English, LOL. Jason
Doc is leaning into his Halloween right now.
It ain't that hard.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got a ton of demo videos of how I use different apps over the years. Yeah. So this is a fun way. And yes, can teach you Ugandan. Don't use Learn. Okay. I use Learn mode a lot. And I actually do know what JSON script is. So I use it myself, but I usually don't teach it. Because then people are like, wait, she's being too something. I don't know. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you charge them for that.
I just build it for them if they need something. Okay. Anything else on live tool demos? I'm trying to look at my notes real quick here and see if any of you who are in the chat have an idea for a tool that you'll use right now that you feel like, hey, within the next week, I could make my own video about this tool or this app. Pop it in the chat. Like, what's the app or tool that you just got a light bulb moment from that you're like, hey, I can do this. I can do a video on it. Well, I want to know, and just pop that in the chat if there's an idea that you just picked up from Doc, Janae, me, RK3, because we were just talking about it. Go ahead.
I want to add something to the live demo idea and just an encouragement, because I used to scroll YouTube and see people doing all sorts of demos on different videos or on different tools, different tech software. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to do another video for that same thing because there's so much out there. And so I would then hesitate and not do it. But then I realized, oh my gosh, it's not so much that there is so much out there. There's certain people that will only hear it from my voice, or these people may not be following all those other people.
Yes.
Right? Somebody that's following me may not be following Nick Nimmin. They may not be following Roberto Blake. They may not be following all of these other people, but they're following me, and I'm opening them up into an entirely new universe.
Yes.
That they hadn't experienced before. Like, oh my God, mind blown. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, geez, that was that old thing.
And they're
You
like,
know?
RK3 is the smartest person on earth. Didn't even know. That
Yeah.
is what they're
So
thinking.
just do it. Just do it.
Besides, RK3 comes in second to Doc Rock. I think is probably
Listen,
what they're saying. I'm
listen,
just
Doc Rock has got the crown. I won't even fight.
me
I
either.
won't even fight.
Okay. So live tool demos, guys and gals, that's what we are. That's number 3. That's number 3. Here's number 4. And by the way, let me say this about live tool demos. If you want to look at the advantage is that your transparency and what RK3 just said, your voice is what
Mhm.
makes it special and is what builds credibility. Because as long as you know the tool, the app, you've experienced it, you're speaking honestly and not just to make a sale or commission, people start to rely on your word for these things. I know this because it happens to me all the time. People will be like, yeah, I didn't buy it because I didn't hear you say that you liked it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess I need to get out there and say I liked it. So remember, people are
Yep.
relying on you. If you're building up your trust factor and you're building the street cred because you're showing up and you're doing these streams, people will begin to rely on your word as long as it's reliable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
believe in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Tip.
I'm doing a master class in a few weeks. And the reason that I'm doing it is because people, over the course of a couple of weeks, like 8 different people sent me questions about something very similar.
Yeah.
And why are they sending me those questions? Well, because they've seen me doing certain things or they've seen me online sharing certain things. So the fact that people see you doing something is another line into even another product or a business idea for
Yeah.
you later on. So
That's right. That's exactly right. In fact, we're going to dive into that last version of a format, and that
mhm,
is the live Q&A clinic.
yeah.
So this is where you're doing structured problem solving sessions with your audience. It could be that you have someone, like, let's say, for instance, you have a community and you invited someone from the community to be in a hot seat. I know people like to call it hot seat. That's not my favorite, but they're coming to be coached and to be served by you.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're excited to do this with you live, and they're sharing vulnerably, they're sharing some of their questions in some cases, depending on your niche, right? Whatever it is you
Mhm,
talk about. But you could do it that way. You could have a call-in show. So you could have people calling in to your show and asking questions, and you're responding to those questions in real time. Or you could do
yeah.
just like what RK3 was just mentioning, where people have submitted questions in advance and now he's addressing those in a workshop style or a live stream, where he's focused on a particular theme and is going through, and there's 5 questions and, hey, I want to answer all of these. You could do it any number of ways, but answering people's real questions is a really wonderful way for you to tap into your audience and the
Yep.
needs that they have, where you're providing solutions in real time.
Yep. And
What
it's
say you about
easy.
that? Yeah.
It's easier to do that because if you don't have the audience questions, what do you then do? Okay, let me go chat GPT, let me Claude, let me Gemini and find out what my audience is thinking. Let me run a survey, let me do a poll and find out what my audience is thinking. And you're doing all these different things. But if they're asking you a question and you can just say, oh, wait a minute, I can just answer this live.
Yes.
That you don't have to search and wonder because they've already told you. And you're doing the show. And at the very minimum, you'll have at least one captive guest because you are answering the question that they asked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to be able to help people and serve in that way.
Yep.
I love when I'm not sitting there making up stories about what somebody needs,
Yeah.
because they're telling me honestly, this is what I need from you. And
Yep.
you're able to provide a solution or a resource Or if you can't, you can say that too, right? But either way, you're given the opportunity to serve in that way. Yes, Sarah Mary Parker, demo videos are my most viewed, and I'm so lazy about it. If I put more effort and regularity into it, I'd imagine my content would do a lot better. Yes, it would. Here I am telling you this, Sarah.
Give yourself a challenge, Sarah. Doc just talked about how he's on day 356 of 365. That was the challenge that he gave himself. So if your challenge is, you know, 4 demo videos in 4 days or 30 demo videos in 30 days, that may be a lot. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got to build in these master classes. Janae getting left behind. What? Janae, you are never left behind.
Yeah.
T, I do live videos of me learning the app from jump. I love showing even us nerds don't know. It's true.
Yep.
It is true.
We do just press buttons, dude. It's like, what does this do? What?
Look, ChatGPT and Atlas and I already made the video.
Have you downloaded ChatGPT Atlas yet?
I did.
Oh, I haven't. I saw the notification. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I'm going to do that today.
Yeah. And I have a thought about a show. Actually, I'm going to be on the Technologist Forum with James Hicks and company soon. Mm-hmm. We're going to dive in on that one. I will say this. It has a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. And it can get a lot of access to your life. But honestly, what doesn't have that access now? If you're using Alexa, if you're using any of that stuff at home right now, these companies have your access already.
They do.
So I am carefully experimenting. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. And you want to get a little taste of how your world would be different. Were you aware that on Monday, Amazon Web Services went down for like the whole day?
Yes.
And we lost access. Yeah. Right. So we lost access to a bunch of stuff for an entire day. And I think the only thing that we really had was like Facebook and email.
Yes.
So they got access to your stuff already, or if not, they could technologically starve you for a little day until you bend to their will. No, I don't know. I don't want to scare y'all.
Don't scare people.
Can we edit this?
I'll edit that out. I saw something in here, Doc. I am not putting that up on screen, being messy. Let me see. Wait, you said that already.
What Doc's talking about.
Yeah. Doc put no something. Do a 3-day challenge and repeat it 10 times, and that's 30 days. Sometimes saying 30 scares muggles.
Ooh, that's a good idea, Doc.
I like it.
That's good.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was nuts. I'm going to them all the access you out here really hiding, even if you think you do. Right, you're not. That's the thing. That's the thing I struggle with, Doc, because there's a lot of conversation about the whole privacy thing. But I think a lot of us have already given that ticket has flown. Like, that's gone.
A long time ago. From the time that you had ATM cards and driver's license with the magnetic strips on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. I do still struggle with voluntarily in this moment giving, right? But at the same time, I'm like, you're going to take it anyway. You already have my information, so why not get some benefit out of it?
Listen, you go to the airport. You go to the airport now. What happens at TSA? They say, hey, stand in front of the camera and smile. And you're like, shh. And they're like, they got this sign that says your photo will be deleted after you pass through.
It's not being deleted.
No, sir. No, ma'am. There is a database that already exists.
Look, let me put this up because, Sarah, you are so right. We're on data management now, not even data privacy. You're right. Yeah. You're right. We are Skynet now.
Yep.
Like, if anybody remembers, what am I scared of? I know I'm not hiding anything. Right. But you just feel like maybe there's something I should be hiding. but it's too late for that, I think, for the most part.
Is.
So I like the live Q&A clinic because of what we shared. If any of you, let me ask you this. So if we had to go down, I'm going to recap the 4. I want you in the audience to share which one stands out to you. What's the next video style you want to try? Is it solo interviews? If it's a solo, not solo interviews, but a solo stream show, type 1. Is it a guest interview, type 2? If it is a demo of a tool or a piece of gear like equipment, 3. And if it is a live Q&A clinic, put in 4. I'm just curious, which of the 4 do you see yourself trying next? Would be interested in seeing what you all think. Yeah. And let me put some of these comments up as well while we're doing this. And I know we need to get ready to let you go and do your thing, RK3, because I'm holding you. I just realized we're at the top of the hour. This went by so fast.
It did. It did.
Here, AI, take my entire digital soul. Also, people at check out my zip code. That's private. I know, right? Right, Saeed? It's true. You are not wrong. For this live stream, are you just using Restream to have the different transitions? No, I'm actually using Ecamm Live, which is one of our favorites. Both RK3 and I like to use Ecamm Live because it gives us the ability to create very versatile and unique graphics and scenes and all of those things. Dr. Vibe Show, a 1 or a 4. And Raymond, if you do need a link, I have access to a link to check out Ecamm Live. You must have a Mac computer because it only runs on Mac. Sarah, demo videos first, probably, then live Q&A clinics. I can absolutely see you doing live. Look, you know, this is me, Sarah. Okay, let's go. Because I know you'll be excellent at it. I've seen what you can do. Raymond says, number 4, I'm going to try the Q&A live. Yeah. Yep. And it depends on the topic, Raymond, because, you know, some topics are very sensitive and you just have to think about that as you talk about your consulting business. If it's something that they're willing to talk about on camera, then yay. And if not, you have options, the call-in options. Sarah said, yes, coach. Yes, let's go. Reach out if you need a nudge. I can tell you lives and long form videos are on the rise because of TV. So pay attention to what you watch for relaxation. It ain't overproduced. It's just folks being folks. Word. And Doc would know because he is a master at this, y'all. So that's gold. Don't miss out.
Yeah. I got to tell you, for a long time, even though I was podcasting, even though I was on video, I was like, man, what is it that is attractive about people just talking? Why do people tune in to watch other people talk? There's got to be something groundbreaking. I need to come up with something amazing so that people can pay attention. And no, it's like during the pandemic when Clubhouse first blew up and people were spending hours on Clubhouse just listening to people talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, what keeps you from hitting that darn record button or that go live button? You know, and to be honest, it doesn't even matter what you say. I think I've shared this with you before, Tanya. Like, I've gone on Twitch and I've seen this dude on Twitch live streaming, and he was sitting at his desk sorting through papers.
Yeah.
He was doing nothing and he was saying nothing. And he had like 490 people.
Yes. Also sitting there just watching him do nothing.
Just watching. I'm like, if people can watch that, if people can watch these ASMR videos on repeat, then certainly the story that you've got in your soul and your spirit, certainly the information that you've got inside of you is able to bless somebody. So come on, let it out, people. Do 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's go.
I'm seeing some 4. He said they lonely. That's easy. It's true. It's true. A lot of people are lonely.
That's true.
But The point being that you literally can find a niche. If it's something that you enjoy, somebody's probably going to enjoy it too, but you have to make the effort to try. If you never
Yeah.
press go live, if you never get in front of a camera, you won't even know. You won't know until you try it. So
Yep.
why not? I see a lot of people putting in 4. So thinking about the live Q&A clinic, and again, we gave you several different ways you can go about doing that. Any one of these paths can work for you. You just have to work it. You just have to press go live.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out as you go. If you want the structure and you need the help and assistance, people like myself and RK3 and other folks that I'm seeing right here inside of the chat can help you with that. So don't feel like you don't have support and resources. This is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So just reach out, watch our shows, go to our YouTube, binge watch stuff. You'll see a lot of really good tips on here.
Yeah.
Yes, I love this comment. I have to pop it up. Let it out. Stop overthinking your readiness to go live. I love it.
Let's
Americo
go,
da
Americo.
Costa. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you thinking, aging with grace and style. Yes. Yes, it's
Yep.
doable. All right. Well, RK3, thank you for hanging
Yeah.
out with me. Because, we always have a good time together. And I've
Yeah.
learned some things, and I know that you always come with the good content, the good stuff. Even though you've been traveling a lot, you took the time to come and hang out with me, and I just appreciate you for that.
Well, here's the beauty of scheduling. You scheduled and you put it out there that you were going to talk about this thing. And I saw that and I was like, oh, I want to talk about that too. So, I want to add that to our conversation. People, as you're deciding what it is that how you're going to reach people, let them know. Don't be shy. Schedule it, put it out there. Hey, I'm talking on Thursday about
Yeah.
this thing at 4 p.m. Come hang.
Yeah. Yeah. You can do the last minute stuff too, but mix it up. I
Yep.
like to create the reliability. I like to build trust by telling people, here's the time and date, and sending the email and sending the social media post and saying, hey, come join and hang out. So, yeah. Saeed, right. The stopping starts now.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
That is good
That
stuff.
is good.
All righty, folks. Thank you again for joining us. The main takeaway I hope that you got from this is that your structure, when you're putting a structured format into place, it turns randomness into client generation machines. Yeah. That's what you're able to do when you're focused and you're really doing this for a purpose and for a reason. I also want to thank those of you who helped me to finally achieve being accepted in the YouTube Partner Program. I didn't tell you that, RK3, but finally.
Finally.
So,
that's nice. That's
yeah,
good.
very excited about that. So thank you, y'all, for that. And there's so many other celebrations, but we're not going to spend time on this show talking about that. We'll do that a little later. I do have some pop-up shows coming up where we're going to talk a little bit about Atlas. We're also going to be talking about a couple of other things that are popping up. I know, right, Sarah? I'm excited. But y'all have a wonderful evening. I got to let RK3 go so he can go spend time with his family.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time in the stream.